Let me tell you something that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. The woman who destroys you the worst won't be the one who sleeps with another man. It'll be the one who gives another man her thoughts at midnight, her laughter at lunch, her vulnerability at dawn, and then comes home, kisses you on the cheek, and says, "How was your day?" Like she hasn't already spent every ounce of her emotional energy on someone who isn't you. And the part that should terrify you? She doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. In her mind, she hasn't crossed any lines. No hotel rooms, no secret rendezvous, no lipstick stains. Just conversations, just connection, just a friendship that happens to make her feel more alive than your entire relationship does. Nobody wants to admit this, but emotional cheating is the most normalized form of betrayal in modern relationships. And most men don't catch it, not because they're blind, but because they've been taught to only look for the wrong evidence. By the time you finish this video, that changes today.
Hi, and welcome to Love and Logic, a space where we break down relationships with both heart and clarity. Whether you're single, dating, or healing, this channel is for you. My name is Olivia, and today we're diving into one of the most uncomfortable but necessary conversations in modern dating: the 9 signs she's emotionally cheating on you. And I need to set something straight before we go any further. This video is not about demonizing women. This is not about teaching men to be paranoid or controlling. This is about pattern recognition. This is about emotional literacy. Because if you cannot identify what emotional infidelity looks like, you will spend years pouring love into a woman who is quietly pouring herself into someone else, and you will blame yourself when it falls apart. I've spent over a decade counseling couples, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. The relationships that hurt the most aren't the ones that end with a dramatic explosion. They're the ones that slowly hollow out from the inside, while both people pretend everything is fine. So here's what I need from you. Put your ego aside for the next 15 minutes. Don't watch this hoping none of it applies to you. Watch this hoping you'll finally understand what's been sitting right in front of your face. Let's get into it.
Here's the comfortable lie that modern culture has wrapped in a bow and handed to everyone. If nobody took their clothes off, nobody cheated. Think about how insane that is when you actually break it down. We've collectively agreed that the most sacred part of a romantic relationship, the emotional bond, the vulnerability, the deep knowing of another person, can be freely given to someone outside that relationship, and it doesn't count as a violation. As long as the body stays loyal, the heart can wander wherever it wants. Here's the harsh truth. Your body isn't what makes your relationship special. Any stranger can offer physical attraction. What makes your partnership sacred is the emotional exclusivity, the fact that she chose to let you see parts of her that nobody else gets access to. Her fears, her childhood wounds, her 3 a.m. thoughts, her unfiltered self. When that access gets handed to another man, even without a single physical touch, you haven't just been cheated on, you've been replaced. You just still have the job title. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think emotional cheating is a lesser offense, something to be brushed off, something that doesn't warrant the same pain or response as physical betrayal. But let me ask you this. Would you rather your partner gave her body to a stranger she felt nothing for, or her soul to a man she's falling in love with? That question alone should tell you everything about which type of cheating actually threatens your relationship more. Now, let me show you what it looks like when it's already happening. Sign number 1. Emotional conversations between you two have dried up, but she's not unhappy. This is the one that confuses men the most. She used to come to you with her frustrations, her anxieties, her random thoughts about life.
You were her sounding board, her safe place. And then, gradually, that stopped. But here's the twist. She doesn't seem sad about it. She's not walking around depressed or lonely. She's actually fine, maybe even more content than usual. And that right there is the red flag shaped like peace. Because when a woman stops sharing emotionally with you, but maintains her emotional equilibrium, it means her needs are still being met, just not by you. Someone else has become the container for everything she used to bring home. And the silence between you isn't emptiness, it's evidence. Sign number 2. She's glowing, but you're not the reason. Have you ever watched your partner suddenly light up? New energy, new confidence, a spark in her eye that wasn't there 3 months ago. Maybe she's dressing differently. Maybe she's laughing more. Maybe there's a new bounce in her step that seems completely disconnected from anything happening in your relationship. And you think, great, she's in a good mood. What you should be thinking is, what changed? Because that kind of emotional renaissance doesn't come from nowhere. People don't just spontaneously radiate joy. Something or someone is feeding that fire. And if you trace the timeline honestly, you'll usually find that her glow started around the same time a specific name entered the conversation. Pay attention to what makes her come alive. If it's not you, find out what it is. Because the answer to that question will tell you exactly where her heart has been traveling. Sign number 3. Her phone becomes a gated community. Now, I want to be careful here because I'm not advocating for surveillance. Healthy relationships include privacy. But there's a Grand Canyon-sized difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy says, I don't need to share every detail of my day. Secrecy says, I am actively ensuring you don't see specific parts of my world. Watch the behavioral shifts. She used to text openly in the same room. Now she angles the screen. She used to leave her phone charging in the kitchen. Now it goes everywhere she goes. Bathroom, bedroom, car ride to the grocery store. She used to hand you her phone to look something up without flinching. Now there's a half-second hesitation before she passes it over. Or she offers to just look it up for you. These aren't dramatic changes. They're micro-adjustments, and that's precisely what makes them dangerous. They're small enough to dismiss, but consistent enough to mean something. She's not hiding a crime. She's protecting a world that she's built with someone else, a world she doesn't want you to see because your presence in it would force her to confront what it actually is. Sign number 4. She starts finding fault with you in ways she never did before. Suddenly, the things she used to find charming about you are now irritating. Your ambition isn't enough. Your communication style is lacking. Your sense of humor has become immature. The way you handle conflict is exhausting. Here's what's really happening. She's not suddenly seeing you more clearly. She's seeing you through a contaminated lens. When a woman emotionally invests in another man, that man becomes the unconscious benchmark, and he will always win that comparison. Not because he's better than you, but because he exists in a curated space. She only sees his highlight reel. She gets his best jokes, his most thoughtful responses, his undivided attention during their conversations. He doesn't have morning breath. He doesn't leave dishes in the sink. He doesn't stress about rent. You're being measured against a fantasy, and every time you fall short of that fantasy, which is every single time, because reality cannot compete with imagination, she pulls a little further away. She's not falling out of love with you. She's falling in love with a version of someone that doesn't actually exist. Sign number 5. One name keeps surfacing in casual conversation, and she's always ready to defend it. My coworker Ryan had the funniest take on that. You know, Sophia's friend Amir actually said something really similar. I was talking to Daniel about it, and he totally gets what I mean. Notice the pattern. The name is never introduced with weight. It's always casual, always breezy, always dropped into conversation like it's nothing, precisely because it's everything. She's normalizing his presence in your shared space. She's creating a narrative where this person is just part of her daily landscape. So when the truth eventually surfaces, it won't feel like a sudden betrayal. It'll feel like a gradual, natural progression. And here's the trap. If you challenge it, if you say, Why do you keep bringing up this person? Watch what happens. The defensiveness will be disproportionate to the question. She won't calmly explain. She'll escalate. I can't even mention a friend? You're so insecure. This is exactly the kind of controlling behavior that pushes people away. That reaction? That's not defense. That's protection. She's not defending an innocent friendship. She's protecting an emotional investment she's not ready to name or give up. Sign number 6. She starts rewriting the history of your relationship. This is psychological warfare, and most of the time she doesn't even realize she's doing it. That trip to the coast that you both called the best weekend of your lives, now it was, okay, nothing special. The early days of your relationship, when you were inseparable, I think I was just afraid of being alone. That birthday surprise you spent weeks planning, it was sweet, I guess, but it wasn't really what I wanted. She's not losing her memory. She's retroactively dismantling the emotional value of your shared experiences. Why? Because she needs moral permission. If your relationship was never truly great, then what she's doing right now isn't really a betrayal, is it? She's rewriting the past to justify the present. And if you let her narrative go unchallenged, you'll start believing it yourself. You'll start questioning whether any of it was real. It was real. Don't let anyone, especially someone who is halfway out the door, convince you otherwise.
Sign number 7. Physical closeness becomes something she tolerates rather than desires. I'm not just talking about the bedroom. I'm talking about the hand on the small of her back, the way she used to rest her head on your shoulder during a movie, the automatic reach for your hand in the car. Those unconscious acts of physical connection that healthy couples don't even think about. They just do. When those disappear and she doesn't seem to miss them, that tells you something critical. A woman who is emotionally fulfilled by her partner craves his proximity. When that craving vanishes, but her overall mood stays stable or even improves, her emotional fulfillment hasn't disappeared. It's been outsourced. Sign number 8. She becomes emotionally unreachable, but only with you. This is the sign that will make you feel like you're going insane. Around her friends, vibrant, laughing, animated, full of stories and opinions and energy. At work, engaged, sharp, socially present. On the phone with someone when you walk into the room, warm, expressive, alive. With you, flat, one-word answers. I'm tired. I'm fine. Can we not do this right now? You're not living with a woman who has lost her spark. You're living with a woman who has decided, consciously or not, that you no longer deserve the full version of her. Everyone else gets the real her. You get the shell. And the most painful part is watching the woman you love be everything you're missing, just never for you. Sign number 9, and this is the one that should shake you to your core. She starts creating distance around future plans. She used to say, when we move into a bigger place, or when we take that trip next year, or when we eventually get married. Now listen carefully to her language. When I find my own space, I've been thinking about what I want for my career. I'm not sure what the next year looks like for me. The we is disappearing from her future, and that is not a grammatical shift. That is an emotional evacuation. She's mentally uncoupling. She's building a version of her future that doesn't include you in it, because in her heart, she's already begun imagining it with someone else. She hasn't left yet, but her mind left weeks ago, maybe months. So now, the question every man watching this is asking, why? Why does this happen? And I'm going to give you a more honest answer than you'll hear anywhere else on this platform. Emotional cheating is rarely about the other person being better than you. It's about the emotional gap between what she needs and what she's too afraid or too exhausted to ask for directly. At some point, a disconnect happened. Maybe she tried to communicate it and felt unheard. Maybe she never tried because vulnerability felt too dangerous. Maybe the relationship settled into routine and both of you stopped actively nurturing the bond. Into that gap walked someone who offered what felt effortless, a fresh ear, no baggage, no history of arguments and disappointments, just clean, uncomplicated emotional attention, and it felt like oxygen after months of holding her breath. But here's what separates an explanation from an excuse. Understanding why she sought connection elsewhere does not absolve her of the responsibility to communicate honestly within the relationship first. Adults don't get to skip the difficult conversation and jump to the emotional shortcut. Emotional maturity means sitting in the discomfort of saying, "I feel disconnected from you, and I need us to fix this," not quietly replacing you while you sleep next to her every night, thinking everything is fine. Attachment psychology explains the pattern. It doesn't justify it. So, here are the hard truths I need you to carry with you. Hard truth number 1. Her loyalty is not proven by her physical presence. A woman can sleep in your bed every night and still be in love with someone else. Stop measuring faithfulness by proximity. Hard truth number 2. You are not responsible for her choices, but you might be responsible for the environment that made those choices easier. Ask yourself honestly, did you stop showing up emotionally long before she started looking elsewhere? Hard truth number 3. If you have to convince someone to be honest with you, the relationship is already over. Loyalty that requires surveillance isn't loyalty, it's hostage management. Hard truth number 4. The most dangerous woman isn't the one who leaves, it's the one who stays while her heart belongs somewhere else, because she'll drain years from your life while you cling to a version of her that no longer exists. Hard truth number 5. You cannot love someone back into choosing you. If she has emotionally relocated, your only power move is the willingness to let her go. Not as manipulation, not as a bluff, but as a genuine recognition that you deserve someone whose heart doesn't need to be chased down and dragged home. Now, what does emotional maturity look like in the face of all of this? First, you have the conversation, not the accusation, not the interrogation, the conversation. You sit down, you lower your defenses, and you say, "Something has shifted between us. I feel it. I need us to be honest with each other about where we are." That takes more strength than any argument ever will. Second, you listen to her response, but you watch her behavior. Words are negotiable. Behavior is the truth. If she says nothing's wrong, but every sign on this list is flashing red, trust your eyes, not her reassurance. Third, you accept the answer, even when it hurts. If she cannot or will not reconnect with you emotionally, you have to respect yourself enough to stop begging for a seat at a table she's already mentally left. Walking away from someone you love is devastating, but staying with someone who has already walked away from you in every way that matters, that will break you in places that take years to repair. So here's my direct challenge to everyone watching right now. If this video made something click, if 1 or 2 or 5 of these signs just lit up in your memory like a warning signal you've been ignoring, stop scrolling. Stop distracting yourself. Stop pretending that what you felt in your gut while watching this isn't valid. Your instincts spoke to you today. The question is whether you have the courage to listen. And to anyone watching this who recognize themselves not as the person being cheated on, but as the person doing it, I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to tell you that the person sitting next to you deserves the truth, even if the truth is hard. Even if it changes everything, they deserve it. And honestly, so do you. If this helped you see your relationship differently and you are ready to approach love with both heart and strategy, kindly subscribe to Love and Logic. Click on the like button, turn on notification, drop your thought in the comment section, and share with friends and family. I, Olivia, will see you in the next video.